Is PRINCE2 worth it? For me, yes, it was. Would it still be worth it now? That's a little bit more complicated. You see, what we need to do is consider where I actually started. And where I started was in 2008. I was looking to get into the project management profession, and PRINCE2 offered a way in. I'd discovered that if you lived in the UK, that was the required qualification to get into the profession. And it didn't have any prerequisites. It didn't need A-levels or a degree or anything before that. Just this qualification on its own would be enough to open the door. So I started studying. I got myself a copy of the 2005 PRINCE2 So I started studying. I got myself a copy of the PRINCE2 manual. I think it was the 2005 edition. I started studying, started spending all my spare time just reading this damn huge book. And eventually it started to make sense. And I started doing a few mock exams, started to find I was getting better and better results. So I booked myself an open center exam to go and do the PRINCE2 foundation. I didn't realize, but I was making a terrible mistake at the time. I hadn't planned when I was going to do the practitioner exam. So I got myself to an exam ready state, and I went and did the foundation exam and passed it, it was fine. But I left it a whole year before I'd come back and do the practitioner. And by the time that I did, there was a new version of PRINCE2 that was out. So I needed to get the 2009 edition of the book. And then I had to relearn the whole thing again, which was just demoralizing. So take it from me, if you're ever going to do the foundation and practitioner, try to do them close to each other. You'll thank me for it. Anyway, I got the foundation exam, and within months, it truly did open doors. I managed to get my first job working in a project team for my local council. And I've mentioned this before in a previous video where I talked about my various salaries from my different jobs in project management. But what I didn't mention at the time was it was a very good salary for the local environment. So even getting on the first rung in project management in a public sector organisation was quite well paid compared to what was going on in the local economy. The most important thing I got from that job, more than the salary, was the experience. A chance to work with a proper project management team. And that led me into an NHS job where I was a permanent full-time project manager. And from there, I moved on to other project management jobs within different NHS trusts. And eventually, having gained more experience, I moved into a project management job in banking. Around that time, I knew that the practitioner certificate was expiring, and I had a choice: invest the time and the money again in doing another certificate to renew that, or just see if anybody noticed. So I went back to my CV and I updated it. I changed it from PRINCE2 practitioner to PRINCE2 practitioner 2009 to 2014. And I pushed it back out into the market and waited to see if the job offers would dry up and if recruiters would start squealing and if everybody would just ignore me. And it didn't happen. By this point, experience meant so much more than certification. It didn't matter if it was PRINCE2, MSP, PMP, or a Masters in Project Management. People were looking for experience. So why is it then that I know a number of experienced project managers who don't have the certification, who feel they need to go and get it? Well, if that's you, if you're an experienced project manager thinking, I need to go and get PRINCE2, I encourage you to think about your motivation behind that thinking. If you've got the money and the time available to invest into this, and you think it's going to enhance your career, then go ahead. If you think that this is going to just give you more confidence in the job market, that's a good thing. Go ahead. The prices at the moment, as of March 2024, appears to be about $525 to do the foundation and $585 to do the practitioner. My suggestion is you just buy the exam and get a copy of the book and learn it yourself. There is some benefit to going to a training course where you spend a whole week doing all the PRINCE2 training. What I found is you have to do the pre-read anyway. You have to read the book before you go to the course, and the course seems to be mostly focused on just passing the exam. That can be helpful in some cases, but speaking from my own experience, and I don't know how this is going to come across, I perform better in these exams when I haven't been to the course. So you need to make up your own mind about that. I will emphasize this point again. Do the foundation and the practitioner relatively close to each other. In my case, I didn't book the practitioner right after the foundation because there was some nervousness that what if I fail the foundation, then I won't be allowed to go and do the practitioner. it was ill-founded. If you're good enough to do the foundation, you're most likely good enough to do the practitioner, and if you're not good enough to do the foundation, you'll see that in the mock exams. So you should be able to make a judgment on when you're ready to do this exam. So is PRINCE2 worthwhile? My answer to that is yes. For me, it has been. It got me from there to here. It gave me a career where I had a chance to work on some really interesting projects with some really great companies, meet some wonderful people. Getting a PRINCE2 qualification at this stage in my career would not be helpful though, not one bit. But I can't get past the fact that this whole journey started with me investing in myself and getting that first qualification and getting that PRINCE2 foundation qualification that opened that first door for me. So if you're a UK-based beginner and you're at the start of your career, I would say yes, it is worthwhile. Go and get that certification. If you're an experienced professional, I'd say it's worth getting the book. Just go and read the book. You'll learn a lot more about your profession from that. It's not a fun read, but there's a lot to be learned from it. If you're an experienced professional and you're struggling to get the next job, then perhaps it might be worth investing in more certification, but talk to the recruiters in your space and find out exactly what certification people are looking for at the moment. Despite all the noise about PRINCE2, PMP, MSP, there are lots of other transformational courses out there that can elevate your career with new skills and new knowledge. And this video here will introduce you to some of them.